Okay, Veron, now tell us about your book.
Well, um, as I was telling you before, I blog at exploretruth.com, and I guess I wanted to take the next step in terms of sharing kind of what I've been talking about, or what I'm trying to say. So I'm writing in the process of writing a book right now that I'm going to give away for free, and um, basically what really interests me is number one, individuals learning how to like just critically examine why and what they believe. You know what I mean? And it's I don't feel like it has to be a boring subject, or it doesn't have to be super academic or intellectual. But I think the average person should, even outside of academia, should be able to just engage with life a little bit more. You know what I mean? And try to wrestle with some of those bigger questions. Another thing that I'm going to talk about in the book is non-religious spirituality. Um, and that kind of hits home for me, and I'll tell you why. Is because I think religion for a lot of people tries to tackle a lot of those bigger questions, but I think the individual needs to be freer to explore things on their own and kind of gain that empowerment to not feel dependent on the opinions of someone else. And we all have our our um, our backgrounds in terms of maybe how we grew up, or the ideas that were passed down and that we inherited from our parents, or whatever. Some of which are religious or non-religious, but I think there needs to be, and this is not an attack against organized religion, but I'm going to talk about some things that I think impede that, and why individuals need to be empowered to explore that. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of assumptions and a lot of things that we hold dear and we think are true, but we've never actually gone through the process of testing those. We never wrestled with those assumptions. So it's not so much this is truth or this is right or this is wrong, but it's more like, have you thought about this? Why do you believe what you think you believe? Are you just echoing that, or is that actually coming from you? You know, so so that's another thing that I'll be talking about, and on a personal level, and I think I'll share some of this on a personal level in the book is why I think that oftentimes there needs to be a separation between religion and the message. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of, particularly in my background, I grew up as a Christian, and particularly that there's an author of that message, right? And then there is the construct, or the institutionalized aspect of that message. And I think sometimes they can coexist, and sometimes they help each other, and sometimes they don't. So I think the individual needs to be able to distinguish the fluff from the message. So I'm gonna kind of share like pretty much my journey in that whole thing there. And just generally, critical thinking I think goes beyond just the big questions or spiritual topics or your spiritual journey, but it gets down to like how we live our lives. Like people just kind of, it's easier just to follow what other people are doing, and I think the pressure from the status quo in society comes from so many places that there's definitely a need for people to feel more empowered to question, like, okay, is what I'm hearing via the news true or not, or is what's going on in government, how is that affecting my life really, or do I really have to go to grad school? Like, are there other ways maybe to make a living that are more conducive to my core values? Um, and a lot of people don't feel, especially now with the way the economy is, a lot of people don't feel empowered to at least investigate or at least explore the options. They feel like whether they're ignorant to the possibilities or just maybe a little apprehensive. So I'm just gonna share like what that journey has been like for me in terms of intentionally designing my life around the things that I think are important. Um, and I think everyone should be able to do that. It's not always a right or wrong thing, or you should do this, or it should look like this. But people need to have the testicular fortitude. I like that phrase. To like just like have the courage to like be yourself, explore who you are, and go after that. And not settle for things that you think are have to be. And there's things that a lot of people want to do but they're not doing. A lot of people don't like the job that they have. A lot of people don't really want to go to grad school, but they think it's what they have to do, and it's nothing against that. It's just let's talk about it. Let's see, let's explore options. So I'm going to share hopefully my journey, and then some other people that I know. I'm going to share alternatives to how one can like design their life in terms of their education, um, and what they do for an income, and hopefully it makes sense.